What is going on, everyone? Luca Rosano here, back with another video, and the Kyle Lowry trade is official, and the Raptors are getting back who I thought the Raptors would be getting back. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at what the return is for the Toronto Raptors, and I'm going to tell you whether or not it's a good deal. So before we dive right into it, please do me a solid favor, guys. Smash a like on the video. It does help the algorithm a ton. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Plus, ring the bell. A bunch of y'all are watching my videos but are not subscribed. How do I know this? YouTube tells me. So please, guys, make sure you are subscribed. Plus, ring the bell. It does help the channel a ton. And lastly, if you want to become a channel member, hit that join button. You can join many of the other great channel members who help support this channel on a monthly basis. Okay, so we found out that this deal was finalized. And it's official. Josh Lewenberg tweeted out, sign and trade is official. Kyle Lowry to Miami, Goran Dragic, and Precious Achiuwa to the Raptors. Now, no draft picks involved. Lewenberg went on to say, this is on par with what teams were offering for Lowry at the deadline, including Miami, from what I understand. So there isn't an opportunity cost from holding on to him in March. The real question is whether the Raptors could have done more with the $20 million in cap space. Lewenberg went on to say, here's what's tricky about free agency route. Number one, was there a guy out there they liked? Number two, did they think he was attainable? They could have made a run at a restricted free agent, had their money tied up in an offer sheet, had it matched, then ended up with nothing. Sign and trade route offered more cost certainty. And then Lewenberg did conclude his chain of tweets by saying, in Achiuwa, the Raptors get an interesting 21-year-old power forward / center prospect that they like. If they keep Dragic, no reason to buy him out. He helps fill some of the Lowry void positionally and leadership on a young team. And his expiring contract could be a valuable trade chip at the deadline. Now let's first talk about Dragic. It's been known that he doesn't want to be in Toronto and he would prefer being somewhere else. Dallas was a destination that came up. But for the time being, I think the Raptors could get a lot from Dragic. I think this is a guy who isn't going to be a suck, and he's going to be a proven professional, and he's going to go out and play. This is a guy who I'm actually a big fan of. I think he can be a valuable asset from off the bench for the Toronto Raptors, a guy who the Raptors can count on and make an immediate impact and provide a spark. Dragic, we've seen it time and time again. He's a guy who can hit big shots. He's a guy that can go on his own personal run. And we saw that first and foremost against the Raptors. I mean, how many times did Dragic light up Toronto? I think this is a guy who's going to make the most of the situation. And then what's interesting about this whole situation is the fact that if Dragic can play well, then the Raptors can then parlay him in a deal at the trade deadline. They could get some value for Dragic if a team that is on the cusp of competing for a championship wants to go out and get Goran Dragic. So that's what's interesting to me about Dragic. Right now, the Raptors can utilize him, and if the Raptors somehow exceed expectations, maybe you keep him. But if the Raptors do want to trade him at the deadline, I'm sure there are going to be teams out there that could use Goran Dragic if they are looking to take the next step and go all in for a championship run. And then the other big catch in all of this is, of course, Precious Achiuwa, the big prize that the Raptors got in this deal. 21 years old, former 2020 first-round pick who played in 61 games for the Heat last season. He's a versatile 6'8" small ball center from Nigeria who averaged 5 points, 3.4 rebounds, and shot 54.4% from the field last season. I think more people got to get more excited over the fact that the Raptors got Achiuwa in this deal. At one point, Miami didn't want to even let go of Achiuwa. I think he was dubbed as untouchable. And I never thought the Raptors would have an opportunity to get Achiuwa. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, Raptors didn't get Tyler Herro. They lost this deal. I think Tyler Herro's overrated, and I'd rather have Precious Achiuwa. I'm more interested in a prospect frontcourt player who can take his game to a whole new level. And I think he will with this Raptors developmental system by his side. And I think Achiuwa is going to be a guy who plays hard every single night, and he's going to be giving you more than what you ask for. So looking at what the Raptors got, yeah, there are a couple questions that come up. I mean, the first one being, oh, the Raptors didn't get a draft pick in return. Yeah, that does suck, and it would have been nicer to get a pick in return, but at least the Raptors got something in return versus just letting Lowry walk. Another thing that's been brought up is, again, could the Raptors have gotten more at the trade deadline? But according to Josh Lewenberg, it's pretty on par with what the Raptors could have gotten then versus now. So I don't think the Raptors missed out there. And then the last part of all of this is Dragic. Is he going to be a suck? Is he going to set the Raptors back? I don't think so. Again, I think he's going to show up, give the team the most that he's capable of giving them, and the Raptors will have an interesting situation on their hands come the NBA trade deadline, as they could then trade Dragic and get some value in return. So that's extending what they got in this Lowry deal. So all in all, do I think the Raptors got a good deal here? Yeah, I do. I really do. Despite not getting a pick, I still think the Raptors got a good deal on their hands. And I'm excited to see Ochoa develop here in Toronto. I'm excited to see what Dragic can give the Raptors in the short term. Considering all things, the Raptors at least got something for Kyle Lowry. And I think these are two pieces that are going to round up the roster nicely. And we're going to get into the rest of the Raptors roster in just a second. But before we get into that, I do want to quickly announce, guys, that today's video is brought to you by Manscaped. If you want to pick up any one of Manscaped's great products, all you got to do is head on over to manscaped.com and you will get 20% off plus free shipping if you use my promo code Luca3. It's a win-win situation. Go get yourself a great product over at manscaped.com. Ready for an outer world experience, fellas? Then look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped that has just taken off in not only the USA, but Canada, the UK, across Europe, Australia, South Africa, and even Singapore. Inside the package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag. Yes, a travel bag to hold your whole solar system. So again, if you want to pick up any one of Manscaped's great products, all you got to do, head on over to manscaped.com, use my promo code Luca3 for 20% off plus free shipping. What are you waiting for? Your balls. Well, thank you. Okay, so with the new additions coming on over to Toronto, what is the Raptors roster going to look like? This is just a rough, if you will, of how I see things going down with the post-Kyle Lowry roster in Toronto. At point guard, Fred VanVleet, Malachi Flynn backing him out. Shooting guard, Gary Trent Jr., he's expected to start. I can see Dragic coming off, like I said, as a sixth man from off the bench. At that forward position, OG starting. You got Scotty Barnes backing him up. And then Yuta Watanabe. At that power forward position, Pascal Siakam and Chris Boucher backing him up. And it does look like that Boucher will be starting and be given a whole lot of starters minutes, with Siakam expected to miss the first part of the season. And then finally at that center position, Raptors obviously bringing back Ken Burch. If you haven't heard, you know now. That was a signing that they made earlier this week. Big signing that they were able to bring back Cam. I was really impressed with what I saw from Cam, so I'm very happy that the Raptors were able to figure it out and bring him back. Precious backing him up. And then, of course, the Raptors still have Gillespie. You look at that roster, I mean, that is a roster comprised of many good defenders. The Raptors could run into defensive matchup problems if they do take on a big body center like a Joel Embiid. But outside of that, I think a lot of people are underestimating this Raptors team. And I know the East got better, and I know I did say that the Raptors are going to be competing hard to just make the playoffs. But don't sleep on this Raptors team and this new look roster, because if they can remain healthy, I do think this is a team that can make some noise. And we know how well the Raptors played last season without Kyle Lowry. And that is a big thing that needs to be emphasized. The Raptors actually look better without Kyle Lowry. I mean, the record said so. I think they only lost like a few games when Kyle Lowry didn't start. And then we know how good the Raptors did look when they actually did have a damn center who was capable of doing center things. Once Ken Burch came into the picture along with a Gillespie, how much better did the Raptors look compared to when they had Aaron Baines, who, by the way, got waived, thank goodness. It was night and day. So all things considered, looking at this Raptors roster post Kyle Lowry, I think this is a team that isn't going to be the worst team in the East, like I've already seen on Twitter. This is going to be a team that is going to play hard, give you their all, but again, health is going to be a top priority. And of course, the Raptors are going to have an initial setback with Pascal Siakam expected to miss some time to begin the season. But other than that, if he can come back and it doesn't linger into something more serious, or it doesn't linger into him missing more time, and the Raptors can have this solid starting five of a Van Vliet, Gary Trent Jr., OG, Siakam, Birch, with those backups like I mentioned, this is a team that is definitely good enough to be in the playoffs. That is basically it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you thought of the return that the Raptors got in the Lowry deal. Do you think it's a good trade or not? What do you think of the new look Raptors, if you will? And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Plus ring the bell. And keep it locked and loaded for more videos from yours truly. I want to shout out the channel members as you see their names on the screen. Thank you so much for supporting this channel on a monthly basis. Again, if you want to become a channel member, that option is available by hitting the join button. And that's it. I will catch you all again in the next video. Until next time, be great and stay blessed. Peace out.